Okay, perfect. I am so excited to hear from Amanda tonight. We're in a Push for Presidential chat group together, and I always love what she has to say in there. And we have very similar personalities, I feel like. She's like a soul sister from and It Works. So I can't wait to see and hear about her story. So thank you guys for hopping on. I love to see your beautiful faces. Everybody, except
Come on, Max. No.
let me see. Okay, so everybody is muted. So Amanda, I'm just gonna have you just start us off. Tell us about your story, your journey. I think I saw you said you just got back from Houston, from the Houston.
San Antonio. I was in San Antonio.
Oh, San Antonio. Okay, cool.
So yeah, I just got back. So I'm Amanda Gully, and I've been with It Works for 4 years. And who joined this money and you were kind of in a desperate place? Put a 1 in the comments. Desperation can make you do one of two things. It can make you crawl under a rock and want to die, or it can propel you forward. And I was kind of in the ditch already. I was praying for an answer. We were having garage sales every weekend. Pretty much every weekend, just to make ends meet. My husband had an incredible job with oil and gas company, but because our children were both born prematurely, we had a lot of medical debt because our son spent some time in the NICU. So we had medical debt, but then we also had credit card debt because of the medical debt. And we just weren't making it paycheck to paycheck. So put a 1 in the comments also if you've ever had your marriage become strained because of finances. I'm going to put like a 1,150 million in there because that's what was happening. Our marriage was fine, except there was so much financial strain that it stressed me out, and I had so much anxiety because of it. So I had used the wrap 2 years in 2013, 2 years before I'd ever joined. And I want you to really take note of this. One thing I always tell my girls, take notes. Leaders take notes, period. Leaders take notes. And I tried the wrap before. My cousin sent it to me, and he said, congratulations on your baby now gets skinny. I used the wrap. I bloated really bad. I looked pregnant again. But 3 days later, because he told me to keep drinking water, I lost 3 inches and I was back into my pre-pregnancy clothes. So I knew that that product worked. But because of his lack of follow through with so much in his life, that was his pattern. I didn't give him the time of day when it came to the business. He never stayed consistent with anything. So that is one thing that if you're not even staying consistent in this business, no one's going to trust for you to teach them what they need to know. If they want to change their life and you're not consistent, they're not going to come to you, period. 4 years later, people are still coming to me because they've watched me, because they know that I can teach them how to do this. So I didn't give him the time of day. And it's a good thing that I didn't, because he quit as soon as they made enough money to go on their vacation. Okay. So I didn't join. But 2 years later, I had another baby and I needed that wrap. We were poor, but I was like, I'm fat, I'm poor, I've got to look better. So I'm going to sell something in my house and buy 1 wrap. 1. I saw a girl on Instagram and she had posted, and you guys, she didn't post a lot about It Works at all. To this day, she is still a ruby and I'm a triple diamond. So that just shows you can move beyond your enroller if you so choose to. So I saw her, she commented on some of my stuff and followed me, and I saw that she was a believer in Jesus. She had a beautiful family, but then I saw that one time that she posted about the wrap. And I was like, I need that. I remember what that did. So I sold something in my house so that I could buy that freaking wrap. She told me about the customer program. I couldn't afford that. I wasn't willing to sell more things at the time. So second thing I want you to write down. If people want something bad enough, they will find a way. You've got to find those people. You got to find those people and work with them. If there's somebody that wants to pre-sell the stuff that comes in their kit, you want to work with those people. So I did it, lost more inches, felt better, and it took me another 3 months to join. But she'd never followed up with me about joining. It Works was just stuck in my head. And I know that that was a God thing. I always share different aspects of the business as well, because I didn't know about the comp plan. I didn't know how much money you could make. I didn't know about weekly bonuses. I didn't know how much commissions you made. I was researching on YouTube, and I just saw how people were working it. Tiffany Herr was one of these people. I came across her video, and I just watched her because her personality was red like mine, and she just seemed like someone that I could relate to. And then this is what made me message her and say, I'm ready to sign up. I found the conference from that year, and it was Cindy Pentecost on stage saying, we're going to have a time of worship if you would like to stay and participate. And I was like, I'm in. It's going to be something different for everyone. Yes, I needed the money, the extra money, but I didn't know how to make it. I didn't know how to do this business. It was a spiritual thing for me because we had been praying for something that I could do, and I didn't want to leave my kids. So ultimately, that's how I started the business. And I always tell people the different reasons why people join. And I have to tell them mine, because what if you're talking to someone who's been praying for something or is a strong believer, and that's something that's super important to them? That could be the turning point when they say yes. So that's kind of how I got started in the business. And then I was ignorance on fire, like everybody says. 17 days in, or 18 days, I messaged Lori Conway. I knew she was my upline somehow. And I said, okay, I've signed 17 customers and 5 distributors, but I don't even know what that means or where to put them. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? She goes, holy crap, that's amazing. So went Ruby in 60 days and got the $500 bonus. And what's exciting was that how excited my upline, my enroller, and everybody else was about conference. It was only September, and they were already talking to me about conference. So they said, Amanda, you have to come. We have so much fun. This, and this. It's going to make your business go boom. And when she called me the very first time, and she said, Amanda, how much money do you want to make? And I said, all of it. I never gave a 200. I never gave a 500 because I didn't want to give myself a cap. I knew my family deserved everything that I could possibly give them. So I just never gave a number. I was like, all of it. So that $500 bonus, this is what my upline said. You buy your plane ticket, you buy your conference ticket, boom, paid for by It Works. You're going. And then she set out a contest, and whoever won, she paid for their hotel room. Guess who won that? Hello. You do what you have to do to get where you want to go. And I was willing to do that. So I was also still signing customers and still signing distributors and going live, and well, not live because it wasn't a thing then, but recording videos and uploading them and messaging and spamming the crap out of everybody. But it still worked for me because I did it enough for the right people to see. I went to conference. That was the first Emerald bonus he announced. And you know what I did after they announced all the bonuses and stuff? I was just like, I can't even imagine getting this money. I looked at my group of girls that were there, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't go Emerald. Y'all, I was built for Diamond. But I was saying I couldn't go Emerald. I went Emerald in 2 weeks. And the day before my birthday, I went Diamond and earned a $20,000 bonus because I decided. And I almost did all of it by myself. But I believed in the people under me. You can sign customers. You could even sign distributors. So we got to go at it. I was Diamond for a year. But my average Diamond check, and this is what's awesome, is if you're the enroller and you stay consistent, I was making $4,000 to $5,000 Diamond checks. Was my bonus in there too? Yeah. But even after my bonuses paid out, I was still above average Diamond. A year later, I went double. My husband went Diamond. We earned 40 grand. I kept building. I just spit everywhere. We kept building. And I wanted to be the enroller because I knew that $100 I could put my daughter in ballet. $88 a month. I was able to pay for my son's childcare because you know what? Before It Works, he was on scholarship at my church and they gave me a scholarship because my dad is on staff at the church. Okay. It was a favor, and we don't have to do that anymore. Right. So all of these $100 weekly bonuses, I had a use for them. I was double Diamond for 2 years. And you guys, it's not because I didn't work. My name has been shouted out as a top enroller many times for things. I never stopped building my business, no matter who quit, no matter Who complained? I just kept building because I knew what it was doing for my family if I kept building. So they changed the comp plan this year. Holla at your mother. Like, it was amazing. I started bawling because I knew I was going triple like that. Like, as soon as he announced it, I was like, I'm triple. The 25th, guess what happened? I promoted to triple diamond because I had kept working my business. When other people complained, when other people quit, I just kept finding people that wanted money at that point in their life, in that season, or whatever it was. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell. I had 6 or 7 girls earn $10,000 to $25,000 in bonuses this year. And up until this year, I was the only, or up until last year, I was the only one in my whole team earning bonuses because I was the only one willing enough to work for them. And that was the God's honest truth. But now I have found the people that want to work hard and want to make 5 figures a month from their phone. And it's been life-changing. I mean, we've paid off $40,000 in debt, and that was before I went triple. $13,000 since I went triple. So you really can't have anything in this business. It's just your freaking mindset and where you decide to keep it.
Yes, love that. It's so funny because we've never really talked about our stories, but mine is kind of similar as yours as far as like, I built myself to double, and I was a double for 3 years, and my husband was my diamond. But then last conference, we took 8 people with us, and all 8 went diamond and above this year and earned anywhere from 10, it's nuts, $25,000. I'm always telling girls, like, come to conference. Like, your success rate literally skyrockets the minute you step foot onto that like arena floor, because it is like nothing else that you would ever experience ever. So I love that. And just to like kind of reiterate a couple of things that I want to make sure everybody heard is compression is a blessing. There are not a lot of network marketing companies where you can make more money than the person above you. And so Amanda said, her enroller is Ruby right now, but she's a triple diamond. That Ruby, her enroller is not getting paid on anything less than level 4, right? Because she's a Ruby. Right. So everything that Amanda's doing, her enroller is not making money on probably 95% of that, because Amanda's business is probably below level 4, right? But because Amanda's a triple diamond, she gets paid on all levels, no matter what. So compression is so important. And I think my team knows, but if you didn't know, my enroller quit after a week, and I never had an enroller. And so it was kind of the same thing. Like, she reached out to Lori and I reached out to Sherry Lynn. And that's what you have to do. If you don't feel like your enroller is giving you what you need to be successful, but you have that drive and that initiative and you want it, then you should go over your enroller and go to the next person and work with that person, because that's the person that's going to get you to the next level. So I thought that was really, really important to touch on, because our compensation plan is phenomenal. And I literally cried at conference last year too, because I knew the minute that they announced the new compensation plan that I was already triple, and my team was already like, we had multiple diamonds that we didn't even know wouldn't have been diamond had we not had that. So it works is absolutely amazing. They're always coming up with new ideas, and whatever they do is always best for their people. And I think that is huge. Timing is everything. Like, you could have joined this business at any point, but it wasn't until the right time for you. Imagine if maybe you enrolled with your cousin and you just didn't have that strong why, or you hadn't seen that video from Cindy. So it's really crucial to continuously post about your businesses, your why. That's why we say post every day, because you never know who's going to see it, and you never know what's going to be that one thing that's going to change them from being interested to being committed. And for Amanda, it was worship, and I think that's great. It could be anything, right? You have no idea. It could be somebody's weight loss. It could be anything. So Ruby in 60 days, that's amazing. Diamond for a year. Important, be the enroller. If you want to be a top income earner in this company, you should be the enroller. So this past year, I was 138 top income earner as a triple diamond, because I enroll 90% of our team. And my team knows how to do it too, and they are great at it, and they are going to, bump it up, but not too many triples are in the top 200. So if you want to make that money, it's all about being the enroller on your team. And then teaching your team to do the same, right? Because we want them to make money. The more money they make, the happier they are. Do you see this Tara girl? It's only 6:20 here. Okay, go put some ice on it, okay? Sorry guys. So you always want to be the enroller if you want to make that top money. If you're, you hit Ruby for the first time and you're like, man, my check was only $200. Did you enroll those 3 distributors? Because if you did and fast started on them, that's $300. That's your 500, So, it's okay to stay at the same rank. It doesn't matter what rank you are, as long as you're continuously building and not getting discouraged. And when you are discouraged, working anyway. Because the people that go to the top are the ones that work even when they don't feel like it. So good nuggets. Thank you so much. Okay, so as far as working actually there was one more. I didn't write it down because my page is full already. But I loved how you said in the beginning, the ignorance on fire, and that you spammed everybody. And I love that because we all did in the beginning. And I think now some of the doubles, triples, presidentials, we've kind of gotten a way of teaching that practice, because now we know we're doing more, lifestyle type posts and what it works did for us. But back in the day, you guys, when I joined 2014, 2015, it was all, it works. And, we got away from that, which is okay, because then we kind of started balancing. But Claire Flores just posted something on our VIP page that was teach them to do what you did in the beginning. Yeah. I love that, because we don't.
It worked.
Yeah.
It did.
Worked. Totally. And I mean, we were doing what do you say? What do you think you were doing a day? 6 posts a day?
Yeah. And messaging a novel to everybody.
Yes. Yeah. So I think that is so cool that you brought that up, because it's not something we talk about a lot. And we do a lot of messaging. We do a lot of hosted posting, but are you really doing a lot? What's a lot? Because I remember messaging hundreds of people when I wanted that $20,000 diamond bonus. We got it done.
I don't even remember what I did, because I don't remember sleeping. I really don't remember. When he extended the bonuses, I started crying. I was like, I'm so tired. I wanted to go for double, and I was built for double, but not as many people wanted to keep not sleeping with me. So I think now it's just become much more of a people pleasing, I don't want to bug people type thing. So I kind of had to come at it a little differently. So is it okay if I kind of go into how I run my business type stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I have my pajama pants on, but okay. So I run it on both platforms. I had to learn Instagram because that's not where I started. I message on Instagram. That's where I message for distributors. I don't have a problem with it at all, just because Facebook is just a little bit more personal, and they screenshot crap and it bugs the crap out of me. And I've gotten into several live fights with people, not bad, but I'm a red and I stand my ground. So when it comes to working my business, I do stories all the time. I got really heavy into stories. You're going to see me with my coffee every single day. You're going to see me with at least promote 3 products a day or a week. So coffee is one that I do every single day. Celery is one that I'll put in there a few times, even though I use it every day. I've been talking about carb control and fat fighters a lot lately. If I know that we have a special coming, I'm going to be talking about those a lot in advance, because they're telling the VIPs more now, which is so exciting. But another thing, I don't send the same message out in a mass message. I'll say, hey girl, I have a totally random question, but it's to girls who follow me back and have been following me for a couple of days. One thing Erin Tweed taught me early on was she only waits 48 hours until she messages people. If they're new, they are following you back. It won't go to their request folder. So I wait a couple of days. And then I start messaging, hey girl, I have a totally random question. And it depends on their age, how I ask them. So if they are 18 to about 30, hey girl, would you be interested at all in being a brand rep with my company, because you are gorgeous, your stuff is great, your content's great, and I just think that you'd be good at it, and it's all from social media anyway. Would you be at all interested? And typically I get a yes, and I get to start going into the quote unquote presentation. I sign pretty much all of my distributors from Instagram, some from Host to Post on Facebook. So I'll start with, hey girl, I have a random question, or I'll just go into it, or girl, you know, I have asked you like 50 times and you do not respond to me. I still think you'd be so good. And that's when I go into a voice message, because I don't know. I just do that. Okay. Another thing that I'm doing, this is going to kind of tie into, what is the thing? How do I start my distributors? I did something at the beginning of October, and because I wanted stinking more points for Margaritaville. I am so competitive when it comes to them putting out an incentive trip. I earn them, unless it's like Costa Rica, because that's not gonna happen right now, later. But I want Margaritaville. I needed that, and I needed my business to grow through that. So all of my girls, I tested it out. I sent everyone in my stinking phone, everyone who was on the fence, everyone who was a PLC, whatever. And I said, girl, I'm trying to win a contest. Let me just be real. And I need you to order Fat Fighters that do this, told them what it did, for 3 months. Could you just help me out just for 3 months? I didn't care if it sounded desperate or whiny or whatever. I signed 4 people in half an hour. And I kept them, and I got 400 points, and I was back in the top 300. I was willing to do whatever it took. So that is how I'm starting my new distributors. We do a post, we do a host to post or whatever, but I'm sending them exactly what I sent. And my new distributor, she's like 21, she's on fire, which is awesome. We'll talk about that later. She's already signed her first 3. Just by sending that out. Yes, it's a 25 BV order, but we also have BOGOs coming because they're also interested in other things. So we get them in, and then we can add to it later if we need to. The most important thing is them getting fast started. And so far, they're doing that. So they're sending it to their aunts, their cousins, their close friends. And here's another tip. If you are scared to send out that kind of message, if your DT is too scared, hand your phone to your mama or to your 2-year-old, type out the message, and then go, here, baby, hit that button. I was so scared to message people on Instagram. I had my friend log into my account, and I had her send 25 messages to people. People started answering her, and they weren't mean. I was all in my head.
I love that. That is so good.
Send it to your daughter, your husband, just say, here, just send that, just send it. Press in. Take the emotion out of it. It's not, take that off of you and just see what happens. It's not as scary as you think. And then the more you do it, the more you can do it.
Awesome. I love that. Okay. So, Anne asked, how do you seal the deal? So basically, do you end up sealing the deal mostly through the voice memos? I know you signed a ton of DTs at the end of last month.
Yeah, so for DTs, it was one of those things, and I think that you asked this question too. Let me see real quick. Like the setbacks that I've had in this business and how I pushed through. So, I lost a lot of volume really quickly from May to September. And I was like, what the crap is going on? I've been a quitter in the past, but this business has changed me as a woman, and I am now a follower through of my word, and I don't quit when things get hard. I just push. And I love that this business has turned me into a woman like that, because it's different. I've never stuck with a job more than a year ever. And I love what I do. So when volume kept dropping and my team was dropping like flies, or just life happening, and nothing was happening in my life. But have you ever had so much life happen to maybe people on your team that's the life that happened to your life? Because that's what was happening to me. Put a 4 in the comments if that's ever happened to you. I work this business every day consistently like a job. And so I don't know how to not do it. I have threatened to quit, and then I quit and I'm signing a customer because I don't know how to not do it. It's routine. It's in my blood. It's muscle memory. So I was in this fog, you guys, from probably the end of September all through October, because I have epilepsy as well. So that's something that I live with. And then they're stress induced. And I was going through a lot of stress. When you are a full-time family and this is what provides for your family and your volume is dropping, you either have to have a buttload of faith or you're going to check yourself into a mental hospital. Been there, done that. That's another part of my story. But I just had a fog, and I was mad, and I was resentful, and I got mad at my team. I got mad at myself. I got mad at a lot of things and very bitter. But then on Halloween morning, something changed. The fog lifted, and I saw things clearly, because I think sometimes, no, not sometimes, a lot of times, because God said this to me, not audibly, but I just knew this is why I was there. He goes, I didn't put you in that place of fog or resentment or anger. I didn't put you there. You put yourself there, and you kept yourself there. So I'm going to ask you, what'd you learn from it? And I learned that my own resentment, my own lack of not working, my lack of believing in people, my lack of encouraging people on my team instead of being mad, all of that was why I was where I was at and why I was staying there. My fault. Halloween morning, I made the decision. I'm done. Because I'm a freaking triple diamond VIP. And I earned that. I worked for that. Other women on my team are still working to get to where I was. You got to woman up. So I said, okay. I got my phone out. And what did I say earlier? I don't care if it sounds desperate or not. Got out my phone. I sent this message. Girl, you have been on the fence, and you know you want to do this business with me. It is $49 to join right now. So you going to do it with me or what? Sent it to like 50 people. From 10 o'clock in the morning to 10 at night, I had signed 9 distributors. 5 of those are now fast started. I have 4 more to go. A couple have already quit. Guess what? I don't care, because I'm going to fast start them to get my money, honey, okay? Because I have to do it for my family. Not have to. I get to do it for my family. But since I made that decision, my team came back alive. It was as if just this fog had lifted from my entire team. So if you've got a fog going on, you are casting that over your team, whether you know it or not. If you're a diamond and above, put a 2 in the comments. If you are in a depressed state of where your business is, put a 3 in the comments. Be honest. This is our therapy session. Okay. This comes from a place of love, because my ambassador upline legit recorded a 3-minute video and said, you need to stop, because exactly what you're complaining about is exactly what you're doing. And it was loving, but it was not loving. And she is like the most yellow loving person ever. Okay. I needed it. I needed to hear it. And I was angry at first, but she was exactly right. It's going to start with you, because if you have been diamond, you inspired greatness at some point. If you did it by yourself, you inspired yourself to be great. So do it again. You have to release the fog. You have to release the pressure. And then you have to cook things up on your own team. And ever since then, people are starting to enroll. They're slower, okay, but they're doing the work now. They're excited about the work. I'm going live in my team more. I'm connecting to my team on a more emotional level now. Not that I hadn't done that before, but I was so angry that I didn't care what they were going through, because no matter what I go through, when I was in the hospital for a seizure at the end of September, I still enrolled 400 BV so that I could maintain my double. Okay? I'm just one of those people, but not everyone's like me. Thank God. Thank God we don't have 5 Amandas and 5 Melissas and 5 Tiffany's and 5 Aprils. We only need one of us. We need each other to complement the other. So I just decided it was enough. I've signed 5 distributors this month so far, 10 customers. My attitude's great. I'm excited, but guess what else I'm doing? Do y'all have that thing on your iPhone that it tells you like how much screen time you've had like for a week? Okay. So not this past week, but the week before. Guess what my screen time was? This will tell you if you're working your business or not. It was less than 3 hours. 12 hours this past week. And I signed 2 distributors and like 6 customers. And I have lots of potentials doing host-to-post, but only 11 hours. 11, 2 distributors already fast started. So as a, double or whatever I'm paid as this month, that could be $500 just in 1 week in fast starts. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? So if you're somebody that you're like, I just want $200 a month. Great. You need 2 distributors and 4 customers. Go. That's what I tell my girls. You want to make 500? 5 people, 10 customers, but hopefully they'll help you. But you have got to start it with you. When I looked at that, I was like, oh, dang. Less than 3 hours screen time when I do this literally all from here. That ain't work. That's not even a hobby. That's I'm just checking in. But 12 hours, that's pretty good. Because I know that like even when I was going like double diamond, I may have like when I was pushing during promotion season, I maybe worked 20 hours a week. So you've got to be honest with yourself about what you're doing, how many people you're talking to. Seriously, we have to be honest with ourselves about that. You have to. If you want to go Ruby, you need to be having 25 conversations a day, not just 25 messages, conversations. I have 25 conversations every day, conversations. And so every 72 hours, I'm literally signing someone for something. Does that make sense? So put that in your head. Like, I need to actually, and it's not like you're messaging, 25 people that commented on a host-to-post. These are actually one-on-one conversations with people, talking to them about the business or talking to them about a product or products. And that will start getting you the enrollments that you need and you being able to make your list, because mine is always full now. Sorry, I kind of went in circles, but I hope that makes sense.
No, that was amazing. And I actually just decided that I'm going to title this Woman Up with Amanda Gully. So I love that. And honestly, I think that that's so important. And so many people need to hear that, just straightforward. It's so important that I can never remember exactly what it is, but it's like a shadow of a leader, right? So your team is going to be the shadow of you. So if you're feeling down, if you're feeling discouraged, if you're not putting in the work, your team's going to do the same thing. But once you decided that that was not going to be something that you were going to allow to continue to happen, then your team started like picking it back up again too. So, and I just think that's so important for everybody to hear that, do that, get out of your funk, get out of your own head, start working, start signing people, and your team will do the exact same. So I love that. I love the red, like it just gets me right there. All the feels. Okay. And I'm all right here because that's exactly how I feel. And you got to get out there and do it, because if you're not doing it, your team's not going to do it,
Right. Yeah.
You can work your way to diamond. Easy. You could do that all on your own. Once you hit diamond, don't you agree, man? It's like a whole nother level. Like once you're at diamond, you got to start creating diamonds or rubies.
Yes, you really do. And I mean, you've got to level up with your leaders too. I mean, people have had to level up with me. And I think it shows like I'm a red. I get a little pissy when people give me constructive criticism and show me the mirror. But I know, because I've grown so much as a woman, that they're right. Because I want my girls to level up because I know their potential, especially if they've gone double and diamond and lost it, and I know that they did it basically by themselves, oh girl, you can do it again. You can.
So funny. So Nashta is one of my rock stars, and she said, I feel like I just got a talk from my mama telling me to put my big girl pants on. And she is on the verge of diamond. She is so stinking close. Like, put your big girl pants on, Nashta. I'm so glad you commented that, because that's so cool.
That's awesome. I have an Olivia Pope playlist. It's called my Olivia Pope playlist, and I have all my like big panty songs on there. I'll have to share it with you.
I love that. My husband and I are actually watching Scandal right now.
I love it. I love it. I will handle it.
Yes, we need more.
Yes. Yes. True.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so this has been amazing. So many good things. My team, I can see my team is engaged in the chat. Like, we're excited. What is your like one last piece of advice, or couple, whatever, however many nuggets you want to give on this last part, but as far as like going hard in November and December, and why you should not stop during the slow, we call this the slow season, but it's really not, because Claire Flores promoted, I'm obsessed with Claire. She promoted to Ambassador Diamond in November, right? Like, Dan Knox promoted, I think, in November or December. Like, tons of people promote in these months. So going into what people perceive as November and December being the slow season, what advice would you give as far as like changing mindset, and even if you do have that mindset, planting seeds for January? And
so you do need to change your mindset. You need to get a personal development book. I'm going to suggest the Success Commandments. It's by Devon Franklin. Actually, Rachel Jones mailed it to me a couple of weeks ago. And I read books slowly because I'm ADD, and I want to make sure I'm retaining what I'm reading. But it's been so good because, I mean, I'm a strong believer in Jesus, and my faith means a lot to me. So is his. But he is a Hollywood director now. And so he took his faith and Hollywood and put them together. And we all have a talent. Our talents are going to be so different from one another. If you are a pianist, you weren't born with the ability to play box, shabada habada huba. You weren't. You had to learn it. You had to learn the skill. You had to nurture. You had to practice. What else? A surgeon. You might be born. No, like the Lord knows he's given you these gifts, but you're not just going to go cut somebody open because you want to be a surgeon. You have to study. You have to learn. You have to practice. That sounds so weird as a surgeon. But just because you have the passion and drive to do something doesn't mean you know how to do it. But you can learn. This is a skill. And so there are times where you're not going to promote to diamond because you're not leading yourself in the way that you need to be led. I have not gone presidential. I did not go triple when I wanted to because I was making it more about me. When I went triple, I got way more than triple. I was already boxed for presidential, and I had people going diamond and double. And I mean, lots of diamonds. Some personally enrolled, some not. Some without an enroller, and some that I adopted. You have got to nurture your talent. I don't know how to talk to people. Learn. What is Melissa doing? How is she talking to people? The way I train is I have my girl put up a post, and then I say, screenshot me, and we're going to screenshot back and forth. Well, she's interested in this, and she wants to lose this much weight in this, and I say, okay, send her this. We do a back and forth, because I've made all the mistakes. I will still make some in the future, which, duh. But I've already made the mistakes. I don't want her to make them. So I want to guide my girls, but they got to show up. If you have not promoted to diamond or above yet, and that is like your dream right now, but you don't show up, you're never going to learn how. So you're going to stay exactly where you are. So my challenge for you is get this book and start really doing some personal development so that you can be ready for that. Because here's the thing, girls go diamond sometimes because it's a blessing from the above, AKA upline. and they lose it because they don't know how to get there. They don't know how to maintain it because they don't have the work ethic. Okay. So personal development. If you can't get to Ruby, you'll have to see what are the insides and outs. How are you talking to people? What are you saying? And get with your enroller. I have a girl that has maybe signed 1 distributor in 9 months and maybe 2 customers. And finally I said, you and I need to get back to the basics. She was sending novels and not what I told her to send. Okay. So when we say send this, don't change it. Send this. Because guess what? When she sent that, she started signing people. We've gone before you. There's a reason, and it's not to rub that in anybody's faces, but if we're triple and you're an executive, we want you to go Ruby. We want that for you. So let us help you. Let us guide you until you're like, okay, I think I'm a pro at this one now. Let's move to this, okay? It's all about pushing our pride aside so that we can start really coming in, okay? So that's another thing. Planting your seeds. Y'all, I get so bored with host to post sometimes. I had so many out this week, and this, going into San Antonio, I had time in the car, and I was like, I want to play Tetris. Like, I don't want to do this. But then I said, you know what? I'm going to get $100. I'm going to get an extra $100 next week. I told myself I want $300 in my fast starts next week. So I'm going to sign 2 people before Saturday night, 2 customers. And so I did. I just decided. So I didn't want to, but I did it. So who wants $100 in fast starts in 2 weeks? Put a 1 in the comments. Ooh, nobody. Okay, okay, Melissa does. Okay.
I know, like, to this day, like, for me, even as a triple diamond and top 130, 8 in the company, like, I still count on my fast starts to pay for my kids' ninja and gymnastics and cheerleading. And I don't have to do that because I have the income to pay for that, but that's
right.
what keeps me motivated. So I'm like, these fast starts are going to, because that stuff's not cheap, especially when you're 3, under 8. And so, no matter what circumstance, like, I'm always like, I am going to get this amount of fast starts this week because I want to pay for this extra for my kids. So you always, whatever you want to get, what, $500 of Christmas presents for your family?
Yeah.
5 distributors and teach them how to do a host to post.
all of my Christmas, all of these fast starts are paying for Christmas. I have done it every year since I joined. So I know that I need this much money, and I already have this much from this week's. I gotta get to work, and there's only 30 days. So I set a personal goal for myself, and I meet it. But it has to be realistic for what you personally are going to do. You. So if you will commit to having 25 conversations every day to do host to posts, you can sign a couple of people each week. You really can. But you've got to have 25 conversations. So in order to have 25 conversations, you might have to message 50 to 75 people, right? Now, I don't have to do that because I always have my funnel full. I have 2 pages front and back of new PLCs just from this month. That's not even what I have from last month. So you're always filling your funnel because at some point, somebody's going to say yes. Keep them in mind. Never write anybody off. You've got to have a list, and a big one. Don't grow tired of host to posts. If people get annoyed at them, fine, move on to somebody else. Change some things up. Ask Melissa, okay, I think this isn't working. I need to change things up. But this is also going to help you add to your network. When I started taking host to post seriously on Halloween, I went out, did the stuff with my kids, and then I came back and I worked till midnight. I have a whole different network. My algorithm is different. Because it sucked there for a while, but I wasn't really doing what I teach because I was pissed. But now I have a new market, and I'm adding to that every single day. And now the people commenting on my giveaways for my host to post are friends of people that I'm not even friends with. And that is why I'm signing people. This is a job. So let's take it seriously because conference will change your business. If you're going to conference, put a 5 in the comments. So be my 5th one. I don't miss them. I've promoted after every single one except for one, because sometimes God says, you need a clean slate. I'm going to give you a new team. You're going to be fine, but I got to give you something fresh. Okay. And I'm praying for some freshness. I'm praying for my team to revive themselves, because I won't want new people. I want new people, but I don't want new people, because these girls are bomb.com, because a lot of lives happen on our team, a lot of hard life. Prepare. What do you want? Really? Put in the chat. What do you want for 2020? What do you want by the end of March of 2020? What do you want? Because I'm going to be freaking honest with you. I lost triple, and then I lost double for the first time last month, ever. But I didn't cry, because God lifted my fog, and I signed 9 people. And in the first week, the first 15 days of the month, I signed another 4, 5. Your harvest will come if you work. The harvest will come if you ask. I want to be presidential in 2020. Watch God far exceed that if I stay believing. If I stay believing. What do you want? Lindsay wants double. What do you want? And you've got to set a schedule and goals daily. That's what my ambassador upline told me. She goes, Amanda, get your calendar out. She said, make your schedule hour by hour for this next week. And then I want you to screenshot it to me. Y'all, accountability. Do you need to be told what to do? Because it's okay. I sometimes need to be told what to do, but there are a lot of girls on my team. They're like, I don't know what to do. Can you send me stuff every single day? Because I don't know how to do this. It's not here yet. Yes, absolutely. Don't be afraid to ask for that. Because when the first comes because here's another thing. I'm sorry, I know I'm talking long. If you have not been working your business the way I hadn't been working my business, it's going to take you 30 days to play catch up and rebuild that list, But because I just never stopped, because even when I was pissed and resentful, I still did my stuff. But I started believing, and then I started reaping everything. It's a belief thing. And it's an ask thing. And now I'm teaching my new girls to ask. The worst they can say is no. I was a waitress for years, and people would tell me no all the time. No, I don't want a refill. No, I don't want dessert. No, I don't want this. I majored in music theater. People gave me constructive criticism all the time. Your feet suck. You suck at ballet. I know. But I have to take the class, so I'm doing the best I can. Well, you didn't hit this. You didn't hit this note. Yeah, I know. Well, what are you going to do about it? I'm going to go practice for hours. We are capable of things that we would not expect if we work at it, if we learn this skill, because so many talents are skills that turned into something that you become an expert at. You don't become an expert without studying and putting it into practice. So once you sign one customer, what did you do to sign that customer? Did you forget already? Go do it again. Go do it again. How'd you get your first distributor? Go do it again. How did I get to double? I was so freaking excited. I was doing videos. I was talking to everybody and their mama's cat. I was excited. And I'm going to leave you with this. Don't leave anybody out. Beginning of last week, I messaged this girl, super cute, on Instagram. And I couldn't tell if she was still in college or not. So I asked her, and she goes, I'm not, because I can't afford it. And I was still trying, it was actually the beginning of this month, and I was still trying to transition and push through my fog, right? Like really just get a hold of it. I didn't ask her if she wanted to make extra money, because that's what I do. That's what I use for Instagram for. 3 days later, she came up again, and I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm just going to ask her. She found the money and joined in half an hour. She's built for executive. She's got her first 2-3 customers. She texts me before I'm even up in the morning, and I got kids, and she's 21. I didn't know that she had a full-time job teaching. I just assumed she was broke. And you guess what happens when you assume? I put it in the comments, so I wouldn't say it. But now she's my rock star, and I feel it in my bones. She wants to come to conference. She lives in Birmingham, Alabama. Roll Tide, even though she's not Roll Tide. I wasn't going to ask her, but do you know that I sent her my video, and then she texted me back, and she goes, I've been praying about doing this because other girls have asked me to do it. But she goes, your energy is contagious, and you're the one that I'm supposed to be doing this with. Wow. I was not going to ask her. So even though I've signed 5 people this month so far, they're all kind of she's killing it. It only takes one. I brought a girl into my business that I met at a party last May. She brought 100 new people into my business in 3 months. It just takes one. And how dare I doubt that God will not provide for my business if I just keep going? One person. And then I put all of my eggs into that person and everybody else who's willing. But if you aren't willing to do that even for yourself, you ain't going to do it for nobody else. Come on. Come on. You're not. So I had to start doing it for me and believing it for me. And now I can believe it for other people. Okay. I'm done.
No, this was so good. Thank you. My phone is blowing up in my chat groups, private message. Like, I mean, I think I'm pretty red, and that you're not, that wasn't even that red, but I think I'm pretty red. But even some of my girls are like, you need to step your red up a little bit. Like,
I get in trouble. My girls get like, they love me, but they get mad at me for a couple of days and then they're good.
Yeah, no, I think this was exactly what the team needed. I'm so appreciative of you taking this time for us. Lindsay said that's been my biggest change. She keeps assuming that I would get a no, so I didn't ask. Yeah, go for the no, you guys. Like, try to find as many no's as you can throughout the day, because behind that no is going to be the next person that's going to say yes. And one thing that I really loved about Amanda, what she said at the end of all this too, is like, always reach out to your upline. And if your upline's not there, reach out to the next upline, because I think a lot of times our downlines are too afraid to reach out to us. And what we want is we want to work with the people that want to run with this business, because we want to help those people. And I know I've had a couple people tell me that they've been, you know, I'll get a message that says, I'm so sorry, I know you're so busy, but, and I'm like, I'm not busy. Like, I'm not too busy for you. Like, what do you need? How can I help you? And so I think that's so, like, such a good point. Like, reach out to somebody that, if you're not getting what you need, reach out to the next person. If they're not giving you what you need, reach out to the next person. Reach out to the person all the way at the top if you want to go to the top. If you want to promote quickly, become, you know, get to know the person who's at the top of your team and run together and just make it happen. Never be afraid of the no. Set your goals daily. And then, yeah, I'm going to get that book, Success Commandments. I'm so excited about that. So thank you so much, Amanda. I know we're about to go into the family call. So everybody that's on here, head over to Mark Pentecost page, and we are going to listen to the family call. And then, oh, Megan, the book is Success Commandments by Devon Franklin. And I'm going to upload this. Amanda, I'm going to share it with you. We are going to call this woman up, and we are going to hit November and December stronger than we ever have. And we're going to get more people to conference. We have 20 people coming this year, which is the most we've ever had. So my goal is, what's that?
That's awesome. Yeah. I think we have like 15 or 16. That's awesome. You have that many going. That's awesome.
I'm excited. We had 8 last year, so we're over double. I'm going to keep on getting these girls to come. So thank you so much for your time. We absolutely love you. I'll send you the recording. And if there's any other questions, I'll just message you and we'll get info out to our team. So thank you so much.
Thanks, you guys. Have a good week. Bye.